The best true crime documentaries to stream. Add these true crime documentaries to your must-watch list. Some documentaries aren't exactly for the faint of heart. Scouts Honor: The Secret Files of the Boy Scouts of America. Directed by renowned filmmaker Brian Knappenberger, We Are Legion: The Story of the Hacktivists, The Trials of Gabriel Fernandez. This documentary delves beneath the happy camper veneer of the Boy Scouts of America. Scouts Honor exposes the organization's history of sexual abuse, as revealed through interviews with former staff members, whistleblowers, and survivors. Watch Scouts Honor: The Secret Files of the Boy Scouts of America on Netflix. People Magazine investigates. Check out the gripping world of true crime with People's own docuseries as it delves into headline-worthy stories through exclusive interviews and new evidence, uncovering shocking revelations. The show's 7th season kicked off with a compelling episode recounting the 1977 murders of 3 Oklahoma Girl Scouts. Watch People Magazine investigates on Mac's Last Call. When a serial killer stalked queer New York, based on Elon Green's nonfiction book, HBO's gripping docuseries highlights the terror inflicted upon LGBTQ nightlife by a serial killer during the 1990s. This 4-part saga delves into the systemic oppression prevalent during the time of the AIDS crisis and the efforts made by queer activists to seek justice for the victims. Watch Last Call: When a Serial Killer Stalked Queer New York on Max Shiny. Happy People: Duggar Family Secrets. This 4-part docuseries takes an in-depth exploration of the Duggars, one of reality TV's most prominent families who were at the forefront of TLC's 19 Kids and Counting, and the cultish practices of their religious organization, Institute in Basic Life Principles. Exposing the household's disturbing secrets that never made it on screen, Shiny Happy People touches on serious subjects such as sexual abuse, child pornography, and religious trauma. Watch Shiny Happy People: Duggar Family Secrets on Amazon Prime. Video Menendez plus Menudo: Boys Betrayed. This Peacock original docuseries bridges the notorious murder case of brothers Lyle and Eric Menendez and the popular 80s boy band Menudo. Being charged with the first-degree murder of their parents in 1996, the Menendez brothers accused their Hollywood executive father of physical and sexual abuse. And decades later, one former Menudo member, Roy Rosselló, recounts his traumatic encounter with Jose Menendez, which may verify the brothers' past allegations. Watch Menendez plus Menudo: Boys Betrayed on Peacock. American Manhunt: The Boston Marathon Bombing. Timed accordingly to the 10-year anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombing, this 2023 docuseries looks closer into the domestic terrorist attack. Using archival footage, personal accounts, and reenactments, American Manhunt discusses the 2 brothers responsible for the explosions near the finish line that killed 3 people and injured hundreds of others. Watch American Manhunt: The Boston Marathon Bombing on Netflix. Murdaugh Murders: A Southern Scandal. After Margaret Maggie Murdaugh, 52, and her son, Paul Murdaugh, 22, were found murdered at their hunting lodge in June 2021, their family's veiled history of corruption began to surface. This 2023 docuseries centers on the Murdaughs, South Carolina's illustrious legal dynasty, whose members were tied to multiple homicides, financial fraud, and other alleged crimes. Eerily timely, shortly after this series came out, Alex Murdaugh was found guilty of Maggie and Paul's murders and sentenced to 2 life sentences in prison. Watch Murdaugh Murders: A Southern Scandal on Netflix. Waco: American Apocalypse. Self-declared prophet David Koresh indoctrinated a group of people living in Waco, Texas, notoriously known as the Branch Davidians, to believe the rapture was nearing and how they needed to ambush the U.S. government. Directed by Night Stalker's Tiller Russell, This 3-part limited series narrates the events that lead up to one of the most infamous and fatal police sieges in American history. Watch Waco, American Apocalypse on Netflix. Stolen Youth, Inside the Cult at Sarah Lawrence. Stolen Youth chronicles the disturbing case of Larry Ray, a man who lured his daughter's college roommates into a sex cult. Over 3-hour-long parts, Hulu gets a closer look with personal accounts and unseen footage from Ray and the survivors. Watch Stolen Youth, Inside the Cult at Sarah Lawrence on Hulu. Madoff, the Monster of Wall Street. Bernie Madoff defrauded global investors for decades, but eventually got caught. Netflix's 2023 docuseries investigates the story of the man behind one of the most notorious Ponzi schemes on Wall Street that defrauded investors of billions of dollars over 2 decades. Watch Madoff, the Monster of Wall Street on Netflix. I'm Vanessa Guillen. I Am Vanessa Guillen shows what happened after the 2020 murder of U.S. Army soldier Vanessa Guillen. Her death garnered international attention after reports said she had been sexually harassed multiple times by a supervisor. This 2022 documentary features interviews with Guillen's family and their fight for answers and action, including the passage of the congressional I Am Vanessa Guillen Act, which revamped the way sexual harassment and assault cases are investigated in the military. Watch I Am Vanessa Guillen on Netflix. Capturing the Killer Nurse. Intensive Care Unit. Nurse Charles Cullen confessed to killing at least 40 patients across various hospitals in 2003, but he almost got away with it. This 2022 documentary film gives an inside look into how investigators prove their case. After you've watched Capturing the Killer Nurse, watch its equally chilling dramatization, The Good Nurse, starring Eddie Redmayne and Jessica Chastain. Watch Capturing the Killer Nurse on Netflix. Keep Sweet. Pray and Obey. The Rise and Fall of Warren Jeffs, the disgraced ex-president of the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is chronicled in this 4-part docuseries. The show includes stories from survivors and former members of the polygamy practicing group. The LDS Church has said the FLDS has no affiliation with the wider church. Jeffs married as many as 78 wives, including 24 underage girls, and oversaw the abuse of other women and children before his subsequent arrest and conviction. Watch Keep Sweet. Pray and Obey on Netflix. The Real Bling Ring, Hollywood Heist. The Real Bling Ring, Hollywood Heist chronicles the real-life burglaries at celebrity homes in 2008 and 2009. The story was dramatized in Sofia Coppola's The Bling Ring in 2013. Original group members Alexis Haynes, Ney Nyers, and Nick Prugo recall their experiences in this 3-part series. Watch The Real Bling Ring, Hollywood Heist on Netflix. Ted Bundy, Falling for a Killer. Ted Bundy's long-term girlfriend, Elizabeth Kendall, and other survivors came forward for the first time to participate in this 5-part docuseries, framing his infamous crimes from a female perspective. With an emphasis on the victims, Falling for a Killer uses archival video footage, original photographs, and new interviews to investigate the serial killer's attitude toward women. Watch Ted Bundy, Falling for a Killer on Amazon Prime Video.